I was with the 86th Brigade out of Vermont National Guard, 3172nd Infantry Battalion, and I was with Delta Company. Left in June, I think June 11th, to head over to Afghanistan, and so it was a short tour for me, but it was a blessing, and I came back the 17th of November. It was a little overwhelming, honestly. The other day I was walking through the airport and it's like there's shops everywhere and there's bookstores and there's, anything I wanted to eat. There's Chinese, there was, American food, burgers, there's pizza, and it was kind of a little overwhelming to see all these things we have and as Americans, My mother and my sister met me in Albany. Mother and sister and one of my friends, they had a sign that said, "Welcome home, John," which is a funny story, is the guy that came out before me was a John too. So they used the same sign for both of us, and they all cheered and clapped as we came out. Since I've been gone, there's been an 800 square foot deck put on my house, which is rather large, and a big spa, big hot tub, and my mother kind of took care of those kinds of things when I was gone, and it was a nice surprise to come home to, it's almost a different house, a new house, and I come home and it's just a weird vibe. Like I haven't been here in so long. I don't know where, I went out to meet some friends last night and I didn't know where my shoes were anymore. I didn't know where my clothes were. It's like going to a stranger's house and having to change into his clothes. I also haven't wore civilian clothes in over 6 months, so it was a little strange. What do I put on? How do I dress in this wardrobe? Is this how you wear it? Like, it was just weird. I haven't taken really the time to think about bobsledding yet. My mind was occupied over there in Afghanistan. There was, things that needed to happen over there, and my attention needed to be on that. So I haven't put a minute of thought into bobsledding, even though I'm back in Lake Placid right now. I've been here less than 24 hours. I still haven't seen the track or seen a sled, and it's a weird feeling to just, it's relieving. All my life, 16 years, I've been bobsledding, and it was just nice to take a mental break. Okay, I get to relax and not think about sliding for 6 months even. That's enough break, I think, to where now when I do get back into the sport and start thinking about it, I think it's going to be really, really refreshing, and I'm going to be really goal-oriented and driven to succeed in the sport, because it's, one, I realize the opportunity I have now and the blessing that, the sport has been in my life. Very appreciative of America and all we have and the freedoms, and that the Army's been allowing me to bobsled over the past few years. So I think it's going to be really refreshing to get back into a sled, and I think nothing but positive is going to come out of it. I want to use what I've learned overseas, what I've been through, to grow as a person. You can take tough times and suffering, and you can produce wisdom by enduring those times and just learning from them, instead of just a lot of people suffer in their suffering. They're depressed to be depressed. It's like and I don't choose to do that. I choose to take the suffering and the tough times and take them as positive, and that's what Afghanistan was, and it's going to be a positive experience, and that's going to reflect in my leadership abilities, I think, in that I can bring more perspectives to the team and to the U.S. bobsled team as a whole, and just my team as USA 2. I can bring a lot of perspective and knowledge and wisdom to that team, and hopefully I can lead those guys onto humble victories, for our nation. Bobsledding now, so obviously my goal is to win medals. My goal is to be the best there is in the world, hands down. I don't want to win a medal here or there. I want to be absolute best, and when I do that, I want to be a great champion too. I don't want to be I don't want to win how anybody else wants me to win. I don't want to be their champion. I want to be my champion. I want to win and be humble and be, a great competitor. I want to do it righteously. I don't want to do it, by cheating or lying or stealing by any other means than the most stand-up means possible as an athlete. And I want to show that when I do win. My life, I kind of describe it as jumping in head first, and a lot of times I jump in way over my head, and I get into situations that I sit there and say, okay, I made a mistake, that's the kind of model of my life. I like to jump in head first, and if you can endure it, you're a better person and you're a larger person when you come out on the other end. So it's kind of just, you never know unless you take that leap. So I really wanted to test myself as a person. I wanted to do it for my nation, and I wanted to do it because I am an Army soldier, and I represent more than just bobsledding to the U.S. Army. I represent a soldier that's deployed, an Afghan Operation Enduring Freedom veteran, and I represent the U.S. bobsled team as Olympian, and that whole picture is an American. That's who I represent, and it's I'm just adding to that repertoire of what I represent now, and hopefully it'll make me a better person to represent our country.